Hey guys, welcome back to Crawl Unchained for my third Sea of Thieves guide. This time I'll be giving you guys some useful tips to help you choose the right server for you to play on. The information I'm giving you today will be useful for both PvE oriented players and PvP oriented players. That's it for the intro, let's begin. Alright, so first thing I need to do is to make sure that everyone watching knows what an emissary is and what they're for, because that's relevant for the rest of the video. So there are 5 factions in total that will let you represent them as an emissary. So there is the Order of Souls, the Merchants Alliance, the Gold Hoarders, the Reaper's Bones, and Athena's Fortune. Now, being an emissary for any of those factions just means that while you represent them, you're going to get better rewards for anything that you complete that has to do with this faction. So if you're a gold hoarder emissary, for example, and you're turning in chests for the gold hoarders, you'll get a bonus in gold and reputation while you represent them as an emissary. The same goes for all of the other factions. So to become an emissary with the 3 basic factions, you need to reach level 15 with each one of them, and you need to purchase 3 promotions. So every 5 levels you earn a new promotion which you need to purchase. Once you reach level 15, you need to also purchase the flag, which is 20,000 gold. After that, you can become an emissary as many times as you like with that specific faction. To become an emissary for Athena's Fortune, you just need to be Pirate Legend and purchase the flag for 20,000 gold. To become an emissary for the Reaper's Bones, you only need to purchase the flag for 20,000 gold. Now, since this video is not a guide about emissaries, I only shared the information that's relevant to the rest of the video so that we could move on to the actual guide, which is where we're going right now. Alright, so when choosing a server, there are 2 things you want to look at. You want to look at events, or which events are active, or more importantly, whether or not the Fort of the Damned is active. And the other thing is how many emissaries are active on the server, or more importantly, which ones, if any. Alright, so now let's pretend that I'm a complete newbie. I have 0 experience in PvP and I'm just starting to learn how to play the game. I'm hoping to find a server that will be mostly quiet, or where people are also new, or where people just stick to their own business in general. The first thing I'm gonna do as soon as I wake up in the tavern is go outside and look at the sky. If I see a Fort of the Dam active, that's the big skull with the red eyes, then this is not a good server for you, because the Fort of the Dam tends to attract all kinds of trouble. Just trust me when I say that it's safe to assume that every crew you'll come across on that server are out for blood. Most PvP oriented players drool at the chance of joining a server that has a Fort of the Dam active. Now, if there's no Fort of the Dam active on that server, your next step is to look at all the emissary tables. The emissary table is where you sign up to be an emissary yourself, and there's a small wooden boat on each one of the tables if there is an emissary active for that particular faction on that server. So let's just take this server for example. So as always, I wake up in the tavern, and the emissary table for the Athena's Fortune is already inside the tavern, so let's have a look at that first. There's no boats. Moving on, we go outside, look at the sky. There's no skulls in the sky with red eyes, so there's no Fort of the Damned active, so that's good. Keep moving, we go to the Reaper's emissary table. There's 1 boat. Now right there, if I'm a new player and I see that, that's probably not a server that I want to stay on. I would prefer a server that doesn't have an emissary, at least not a Reaper emissary. So I'm going to keep going just for the heck of it. I go to the Gold Hoarders table, there are 2 emissaries there. And then I go to Order of Souls, there's none. I go to Merchant, there's none. That's still 3 emissaries on this server, and one of them is a Reaper. So, knowing what I know now, if I was to go back in time, go back to being a newbie, but carry the knowledge that I have now, I'm choosing not to stay on this server, and I recommend not to stay on this server if you are a rookie. If you do not want to do any PvP You do not want to be attacked while questing, while doing voyages. Do not stay on this server, okay? There's no guarantee that those guys or those crews are going to be hostile. There's no guarantees that they're going to be friendly. Players are unpredictable. You cannot predict what a player is going to do. But one thing that you know from the fact that they are emissaries is that they have at least a certain amount of time invested in the game. They have a certain amount of experience, and they know that having an emissary flag puts a target on their back, and they're still confident enough to use it. Also, knowing that you have a target on your back most of the time, if there's a ship parked somewhere that you need to go, you're gonna sink it just as a precaution. So those gold hoarder emissaries, okay, if they come across you and you happen to be at an island that they need to go to, they might see you as a hazard, like a potential threat. They're not gonna risk whatever loot they have on board. They're not gonna risk their emissary flag, so they might choose to sink you just to get you out of the way because they see you as a threat, even if you're just minding your own business. So if you're a new player, once again, I recommend not staying on that server. Now, on the other hand, if you are a PvP oriented player and you're looking for people to hunt, then this is definitely the server for you. You have 3 boats guaranteed on the server, 3 of which have emissary flags. Emissary flags can be sold at the Reaper's hideout for gold and reputation. So if you are a PvP oriented person and you are a pirate and you're looking for people to hunt, this is definitely a good server for you. There might be better servers out there, but they're not always easy to find. Out of maybe 15 servers that I went through just to make this video, this was the most populated server in terms of emissaries. So if I'm a PvP oriented player and I'm looking for people to hunt, I'm staying right there. Moving on. So now that you know about emissary tables, I'm going to take a guess here and say that if you came into this server that I'm in right now, looked at the tables, see that there are no emissaries except for one, and that this one emissary is a Reaper, my guess is if you're a new player and you've been watching this video, you're probably saying, well, there's a Reaper, I'm out of here, right? I say no. Okay, and let me explain why. There's only one emissary on the server, and that's a Reaper. Usually Reapers are supposed to go after other emissaries. There are none on this server. There are none. Yet this guy chose to be a Reaper even though there's nobody to hunt. So this guy is not here for the hunt. This guy chose this server because he was pretty much alone on it. He feels safe on it. He doesn't want to fight. He doesn't want to hunt. That's probably the kind of guy that is a completist. He wants to bring every faction's reputation all the way up. He wants to max out all the factions, but he's not a PvP oriented player and he doesn't want to fight other players. So he's choosing a server that's empty to play a Reaper so that he can farm Reaper reputation on his own without being bothered. What confirms this is that I looked at the map and he's only Reaper grade 1. So I mean, the only other potential scenario would have been that this guy sank every other emissary, but if that were the case, he wouldn't just be grade 1, he would have gone up in grades, so he would be Reaper grade 3, 4, maybe 5, depending on how many ships he sank. But he's grade 1, so the guy just arrived, chose an empty server to be Reaper, so that is not a PvP oriented player. He's not here for the hunt, I'm telling you. So do I think this server is safe for new players? Yes, because there's only one emissary on it and it's a Reaper and you know exactly where he is at all times. he can't really hunt you because he doesn't see you on the map, but you see him. You know exactly where he is. So it's easy to dodge him. It's easy to avoid him. So yes, this server is safe for new players. So I would like to end the video by saying that there is no absolute foolproof way of finding servers that are 100% safe. This just does not exist in Sea of Thieves. I've said it once already in the video, players are unpredictable. Now using this method, it will give you some data to analyze to help you determine whether or not you wish to stay on this server. Obviously, a server that has Reaper emissaries most of the time is the kind of server that's not going to be safe for you if you're a new player. A server that does not have any emissaries at all usually will represent the safest bet, but safest bet in Sea of Thieves does not mean 100% safe. I'm sorry, I cannot make any guarantees here. I can help you find servers that are a little bit safer for new players, a little bit more new player friendly, but there's always a risk for people to attack you, okay? People who do not use emissary flags can choose to attack you as well, so there are no guarantees. But there is such thing as a less risky or less hostile server. So that being said, let me know in the comments whether or not the information contained in this video helped you or not, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.